Well, hey there guys, Outlaw Dolphin here, and we're continuing our Dragon Age Inquisition Trespasser DLC. Last we left off, we had just discovered that a Qunari plot by a sect of the military known as the Antarm are trying to infiltrate the Winter Palace via Illuvians. As to why they are doing this, we are not too sure yet. However, it's clear to see that they are being disrupted by an elven element. Whether this person be friend or foe is not clear to the Inquisition just yet. We need to find what is going on both sides. Okie dokie, so we need to investigate the Qunari plot. We're not going to dilly-dally around. I don't see much reason to, except let's try and speak to the Iron Bull to see if he has anything that can enlighten us. I understand that he has a lot less dialogue at the beginning because we don't have the bull's charges to lighten his spirits.
Hey, boss.
How is our alliance, Iron Bull?
If you've lost touch with the Ben Hasrath, what of our alliance?
Well, the last time I heard from them, we were great. You killed Corypheus, sealed the breach, and closed a ton of rifts. They couldn't ask for more. This whole operation has to be a mistake. Bring me with you, and we'll figure it out. I promise.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss.
Okie dokie, so we'll do that. We'll bring Iron Bull with us on this expedition. Yes, I do know exactly what the DLC entails, considering what we did with Iron Bull and the plot that we followed for his story. All these guards, they stand ready at the Illuvion. They've gone and moved this one into somewhere more quiet. But off we go. Oh, off they go. You can see them running off into an Illuvion in the distance.
Path wasn't there before.
The rocks didn't move themselves. They found a way to make a path.
Okay, so there are a few secrets to this Illuvion.
They were going.
If you go left and up, you'll find this Illuvion round the back. Now, any Illuvion that isn't quested, like this one and one in the previous video, will lead to treasure rooms, which is where you'll find plenty of demons.
This goes everywhere, even places that aren't anymore.
Fade touched hardened Gurnhide. There we go. So anytime you see that orange ring around a lock, is when you're going to find trouble. Make no mistake, the demons are even stronger here than they have ever been before. You just need to try and find a way to deal with them rather quickly. These treasure rooms are small and can make maneuvering quite difficult. but as there are no rifts anymore, we don't need to really worry about anything. Just what we have in front of us, which is sadly 2 despair demons, and they like to run away from me. They have barriers that are strong. I am using this new ability to briefly make my team invulnerable, just to see how well it could work. Whatever keeps granting them this barrier is really ticking me off. This is not a weak barrier that they are summoning. Okay, it's the Rage Demon. Okay, one down. You can hurt me all you like. I'm partly invulnerable to you. Rage Demon down now, it's just one more Despair Demon. And finally, those demons were not one for messing with. The Eye That Weeps. This amulet is heavy for its size, and the metal is clammy and sticks jealously to the flesh. The gem in the centre contains a liquid that glowers a sluggish red in bright light. Condensation slowly forms on the gem's outer surface, no matter how many times it's wiped clean. The following stacking bonus granted on ability usage: 2 pieces at 10% attack speed, 3 pieces 10% movement speed, and 1% heal on hit. Notes on the second attempt. Elegance eludes me. The aim is to improve the coordination of the body and sharpen the perception of the heart. But graphs do not live long enough to plumb their worth. The current process is ruin. This batch is lost. Begin again. Someone's very meticulous about their work. Okay, so following out of that one, there is a second route that we can go before chasing the Kunari, and that is to examine this little thing here.
Anybody know what that is?
For there is a second over here. Sorry, this was the one I meant. This little egg-shaped thing here, this kind of thing that looks like a Fabergé, something that should be in the VNA, is the same as over there. Activating it creates the hidden pathway the Kunari have been using.
So that's how the Kunari move the paths.
It's old. The stones remember different ways to be, and it asks them to change.
And here we go with a second Illuvian, which will lead us to part of the treasure that we're chasing. So we saw a ring called the Hand That Cuts, an amulet called the Eye That Weeps, and there we go. What will this? A mouldy journal. Mould and rot have eaten most of the pages of these books. The remaining vellum is covered in spiky handwritten with spelling with spiky handwriting with spelling that is either archaic, widely idiosyncratic, or both. I think what we are looking at is someone who writes how they speak. So I'm going to have a go at this. It's just that first word that's bothering me, the YHT. But I'm going to have a glance at reading it normally. So I saw it cross from the Volca. That which draggeth souls down to its larder in the brine dark. His beast preyeth on humble wits and gold sworn, even at the tower's keeper, declares I will rest here if it would ease me. The elven, which pulled my grip up from my end, kens he is last of his kind. Made it known, elven live south-like. But he says it would not be as it was. And I said, that's ever true, and he laughed. Lark-like, come dark, he showed me a mirror deep. Strange, an Illuvian, sworn to be in his family for... Whoever that was, whoever wrote like that, must be very northern. It seemed very northish, like Free Marcher. What have we got? Revenants. This is a bad place to be fighting Revenants, Mithrendil. Exactly this reason. It's like fighting Hakon over and over again. Except this time there's two of them. Right, keep him in one spot, guys. Oh, oh, that hurt. Nice one, Vivian. Well, I don't think they gave Bull much of a chance to get back up, though. So we're going to be one Revenant down pretty soonish. One down. Nope. Is he still up? He's still up. Nope, now he's down. It's pretty creepy when they grab you with the spirit hand and pull you all the way over. Not much longer for him. Nice one, Cole. Sigil of the Revenant. And a Revenant Heart. Another Revenant Heart. Why have I got angel wings? That looked a little bit creepy. There was a texture glitch. There we go. The bind that guides. Following stacking bonus usage, 10% attack speed, same as the others. No matter how loosely this belt is tied, after a few steps it wraps itself snugly around the waist. The stitching, while fine, is of a strange thin thread that resembles hair and can't be cut even with the sharpest knife. Notes on the third attempt. 2 enchantments whose matrices should have meshed caught. The combustion caused such damage. It broke several previously forged pieces. There is now a resonance between them, however, and light on my thoughts. An enchantment linked in tandem, the neck turns the head, or the wrist twists the hand. Someone's confusing. The neck that twists the head, or the wrist twists the hands. Okie dokie. Now we can pursue the Alluvian in question. There is going to be one more path that we find that will be very similar to the one we're following now, except it will come a little bit later, I think. It will be leading us up there, I think. Anyway, I know you went this way. Come out. Okay, so we're running low on supplies, but I'm sure... Oh my god, where are we? That's a statue of Mythal. Underneath the lyrium vein. Not what I had expected. Okay, so we're running low on potions, but I'm sure we will find a supplies cache soon enough. There you go, so here we find some Kunari blowing up some rocky doorways using their gatlock like dynamite.
Song screaming far away. It wants to wake up but can't remember how. No one should be here.
We need to find out what these Canari were up to. So let's go see, shall we? Looks like there was a bad cave-in.
Ooh, Veil Quartz. How did they come across this? The paper is covered in what appear to be mathematical calculations. An extremely precise and detailed sketch of a wall has been heavily annotated with measured angles, dimensions, and several lines of text in Kunlat. Whatever conclusions were drawn about the measurements are lost. The page has been ripped, seemingly by sharp teeth, and much of the remaining paper is hidden by a hardened layer of dried blood and dust from a cave-in. It's like someone got their math wrong. Very wrong.
Look at all that. The Canari have a huge operation here.
Yeah, but for what? That catwalk! I can't believe the Arcana let it out of Par Fallen. Boss, your hand's doing that thing again.
Well, if the anchor could make itself useful down here. The Canari were definitely up to something. Excavating that cave-in, maybe.
Oh, these aren't even dwarven ruins. These are elven. And Fenharal's wolf is everywhere.
Snappy little asshole.
Well, we've got Deep Stalkers. And I think what we have here is the best kind of Deep Stalker. These eyes. These blue eyes glowing in the distance. Kind of how the Sharbratol were. Almost like they have lyrium in them. And it's affecting them. So there's still yet more. Yep. Nothing to loot from these guys though.
It's singing where no one can hear.
They're here for the lyrium, it would seem.
Look, someone up ahead. I think he's you.
Stay back! Oh, wait. Your hand. Are you the Inquisitor?
Odd to find a human down in the deep roads at all. Let alone surrounded by Canari.
We don't have much time. Please, what the Vidasala is doing, you have to stop her.
The Vidasala? That's a high-ranking Bin Hasrath. Specializes in magic. Finding, studying, stopping.
Not anymore. I don't care whether you serve Fenharan or not. Someone has to stop her.
You think I serve Fen-Harel?
Why do the Canari think that the Inquisition serves Fen-Harel?
I don't know. The Vidasala said it, and the Canari here accepted as fact. We've had agents of Fen-Harel causing trouble all over the crossroads. Sabotage, making spirits attack us. I assume the Inquisition was their army. That you came here because Fen-Harel told you to.
Who are you?
Who are you, exactly?
My name is Jeren. Sir Jeren, once. I was a Templar in Kirkwall. Until I joined the Qun.
You're Canari?
Kirkwall was... madness. Chaos. The Canari were like the eye of a storm. I stand for order and discipline. Protecting the innocent from magic. But this plan... it's as mad as Meredith ever was.
Explain. Not anymore.
What do you mean? This Vidasala's not doing her job anymore?
Almost a complete reversal, actually. This place is a lyrium mining and processing center. The Canari need it for... Have you ever heard of Sarabas?
Dangerous thing. It's what the Qun calls mages.
Even as a Templar, I'd never seen anything like the power Sarabas can unleash. And now Vidasala is giving them lyrium. A lot of lyrium. It's part of something she calls Dragon's Breath.
That's a load of crap. There's no way the Vidasala would let any Sarabas within 1,000 feet of lyrium.
There's more to it than that, but I couldn't find out what. The Canari don't like it when you ask too many questions.
And what is your role?
What are you doing down here?
The Canari wanted me to teach them everything I knew about lyrium. Where it comes from, everything it can do, how we put it to use. I knew enough from my time in the Order. They figured out more. I'm not sure how. Maybe they got to the Carter.
But only dwarves can mine lyrium. This must be harming them.
The Canari can't be mining their own lyrium. It kills anyone who tries, other than dwarves.
It killed the Canari at first. The Canari workers have a discipline only Tranquil can match. And they're quick learners. They figured it out.
What's the goal here?
Why give the Sarabas more power? What does the Vidasala want them to do?
She said it would save the South. That can mean only one thing. An invasion. This mine is the only source of lyrium the Canari have. They're using Gatlock, the explosive powder in the round casks, to mine, so they don't have to touch raw lyrium. If you get the primers from Central Supply, you can prime the Gatlock and detonate it. The mines will go up in flames.
That will attract attention.
Once things start exploding, every Canari down here will notice.
You're right, they will. Deep Stalkers and Cave-ins will cut off reinforcements. But they'll still come when they hear trouble. You've got to find the Vidasala to end this war before it begins.
Get out of here.
There's no telling how bad things will get when I destroy the mine. You better get moving.
I will. Good luck, Inquisitor.
Let's go. We have a lyrium mine to ruin.
Interesting that the Iron Ball disapproved of trying to save his life. Just what is going on with the Iron Ball? Okay, so that way's blocked off. We destroyed the Gatlock here, which has revealed a path to us. This lyrium is a lot more animated than down in the abyss. Almost like it's waning or weaker.
Curious that the walls aren't glowing. Even the dwarven ruins in Crestwood held onto their light.
Ah. This note is written in both Common and Kunlat. The letters are shaky. These walls of blue flame were cast by the agent of Fen'Harel as he ran through this place, bringing chaos and destruction. Do not light fires from them. Do not go near them. Fen'Harel's mage servant made them to hamper us. They only bring death.
Sound good.
I was hoping that would have an effect, but it doesn't. Half tempted to try and to fade step across, but I don't know.
I'm feeling like I'm gonna bang my horns on this crap.
Are you concerned about fighting Canary, my dear?
If this were an authorized operation, I'd have heard about it. Tower shot. We'll figure it out and make it right. So, nothing for you to worry about. Now.
I'm trying to keep an eye on Iron Ball's body language, how he's talking. I don't know. I know what happens later. I know what... Oop. Sorry. That's the danger of being a mage down here. Even an archer sometimes with a fire rune on your bow. You may blow stuff up you don't really mean to. Either Iron Ball is talking a good game. I believe he knows what's going on down here. Based on information we will find later. He's already on fire. I think the path that we come across here is going to be fairly...
There's got to be a mistake, boss. The Kunari wouldn't invade now. It's impossible.
Well, clearly it's not. The Vidasala would not risk even being... would not risk it being even remotely thought as Talvashoth. This is a very narrow path we're following here, so we will need to be careful.
The cavern is barely holding together. They found us!
I did not see you hiding around the corner.
I see you, Baz. Do you see me?
torn notebook in the deep roads. Many of these pages are filled with sketches of elven statues, matching the ones found in the area, along with notes that what look like attempts to practice Kunlat. Trying to remember that old bedtime story about Mathal. My mother sang it the night before the Darkspawn came for my clan. It's the last time I ever heard her voice. Isa tel now, Mithal lasma thenaras, Ia sana Emma, him solas evanuris. Oh god. Da duganlin, benalmalas elgara, benalaris belanaris. Written beside each elven line is a corresponding phrase, likely a translation. I am empty, filled with nothing. Mithal gives you dreams. It fills you within you. Making our leaders proud, my little stones. Never yours the sun, forever, forever. But the word him solas evanuris. Make our leaders proud? But solas translates to pride. Feels within you? Our leaders proud. Pride, proud. Haran said we had lost some of the old words. What if they have changed? Durgenlin from Durgenlen. Little dwarves. Never yours the sun. What did Mithal do here? Something's wrong. The lights in the walls are fading. Going to find help. It's not safe without light. Itwa Ost. Itwa Adim. Itwa Assam. You all fall. They all fall. We all fall. Itwa Ost. Itwa Adim. Itwa Assam. I feel quite proud of my Elven. Only a little bit. What's Cole got for us?
The songs are all here. Sleeping sadness already forgotten. I can't help this hurt.
In the same way you tried to help Solus, and like you said, his hurt was old.
This is where they dig. Tricks and trials so the singing stones don't kill them.
Should be nearby.
I think I see where they are. Section 2. Many of these pages are filled with sketches of elven statues. They say that the agent of Fenharal caused trouble in the crossroads. I wish I knew. I wish whoever fights in the name of the Old Wolf was around to fight when the Darkspawn took my clan. Mine is not to question. I have chosen the Qun, and the Qun will protect me. Ret Host, Ret Hadim, Ret Sam. You all protect, they all protect, we all protect. These statues are older than anything I saw in my days with the clan. The area is dwarven though. What were the ancient elves doing down here? Mining? Where were the dwarves? Easier to have them mine it. Not a trading post. You don't go into a friend's home, knock over their gods, and put up your own. War. I don't remember any legends about our people fighting the dwarves. Though I remember my keeper telling a story about how the dwarves fear the sun because of Elganarn's fire. A metaphor for the elves of Arlathan driving the dwarves underground. The Kunari like metaphors. I should share that. Very, very interesting. This place is dwarven, but like he says, it's almost like the elves came down, knocked down dwarven gods to put up their own. strange for Mithal's statue to be here. I think it would have been nice to find something like Elganon, a depiction of him. We don't see him, yet he's probably the third most talked about Evanuris. Mithal and Solus, the Mithal and Dreadwolf being the first two, Mithal and Fetneral, and then Elganon and Gilanan, and then perhaps the second, the two most popular after them. Hopefully I'm finding enough information. I'm kind of giving it away with slips of the tongue. Solus is the Dreadwolf. We'll just say that now. But I hope I'm finding enough information of which Hastings can figure it out himself. I know that I've only seen conversations where a female elf can figure it out. Maybe a human male can figure it out. What the hell was that? Ah, Cerebas. This is the first one that we fight. It won't be the last one. And it won't be the smallest. Wow. This is what Lyrium is doing for the Cerebas. We need to get out of there. Heart of Rage. His unique staff. Armada's Captain's Knife. Armada Captain's Knife. I imagine that's something to do with Isabella. There you go, there's the primers.
You got the primers. Let's go explode some Gatlock.
Are you quite all right, Inquisitor? It hasn't escaped me that the anchor is acting up.
Are you worried?
Worrying about me, Madame Defer?
Solus was the only one who ever pretended to understand the anchor, but we all know it's dangerous. Dorian and I will have to put our heads together, but we should find some way to slow it down.
Communique in the deep roads. Half of this message is written in an unfamiliar alphabet, probably Kunlat. The rest is common, and carefully lettered by someone who is clearly struggling with the language. Vedithari Kith. The vast disruption of the Atashi Asara. Atashi? Dragon? Must be ended at once. Hera decreases with each. And this line is crossed out. Translated, the dragon's breath must be complete. Locate and eliminate Bas Hisra. Locate and eliminate Hisrad. This is also crossed out. Eliminate agents of Fen'Harau before time runs out. Are they trying to eliminate Hisrad? It would be a mistake. We are about to get swarmed here. Hitting me would be a mistake. Okie dokie, so the structures we're aiming for are these sort of lift-looking things.
Like a perfect target. Don't you agree, my dear?
Get away. Or do I have to blow it up? they coming from above? It's certainly, yep, there they are. If you go one way, they will end up coming from all around you. I could have gone back that way, up the other set of stairs, but they would have attacked from behind me and I would have been attacked from the front. Best just to hold your ground and let them come to you, unless you like fighting on two fronts. And your group will become split up as well. And already nature is trying to take back what has been taken from them for a long time. There's another one. I get the feeling fade stepping is... Sorry, Vivienne. I think fade stepping away after I detonate it is extinguishing the detonator. That is interesting. Ah, whoops. He came out of nowhere. Okay, so there's one more above me. I want to get this one first, however, or should I do this one last? It should be worrying to the Inquisitor that the anchor that's been part of him for 2 years, or just over 2 years by this point, is all of a sudden one of the most powerful light sources ever. So let's not fade step away from this one and see what happens. Yeah, it blows up like normal. Coming this way. You're gonna have to go through fire. I'm glad I'm doing this one structure at a time. The way I normally used to do this was rush and do them all without fighting anything. And then all these enemies that spawn in would all spawn in at the same time. So you'll be fighting a horde and not groups. Okay, so we have one more structure. And then we need to GTFO. Get away.
That's it. Let's get out of here and warn the others about this dragon's breath plan.
Maybe Red's got news from her sources by now. We can ask her. You know, assuming we make it out of here without drowning.
Come on, guys. Time to get the hell out of here. Who the hell's saying that? That creeped me out.
See where that leads.
Oh, they drop loot for the first time ever. Orders. Elf Iskari. Our Templar brother is in need of re-education. He must be located and returned at once. Vidasala. They killed him, didn't they? Maybe Bull knew that they would do that. Yep, there he is.
He didn't make it far.
At least he took a few down, eh? It's very dark down here. I love this water effect on the stairs.
Cullen and Josephine were probably at war with the Q. Anyone?
Don't look at me.
They're gonna kill me.
Dragon's breath. The Qunari always enjoy their metaphors. But what does it mean?
Who knows? Qunari agents moving through Illuvians to attack the south is bad enough already.
I still do not understand why they accused the Inquisition of serving Fen'Harel.
He could be real.
We know that Mythal actually exists. It's possible Fen'Harel is still here in some form too.
What you describe in the ruins certainly implies that the Dread Wolf of Elven legend is a real person.
But how does that implicate us? What made them decide that the Inquisition serves this Fen'Harel?
Hopefully we will learn more after we have stopped them.
Let's see the Exalted Council try to disband the Inquisition after we've saved them from this dragon's breath.
We must find out what Dragon's Breath is first. For now, our only lead is the Qunari leader, the Vidasala.
Gentlemen!
My apologies, Lady Josephine. There has been an incident with one of your soldiers.
How dare you? It was bad enough that the Inquisition chose not to inform the Exalted Council of the Qunari Corps.
Orle would have been happy to help with the matter.
But now your own guards are attacking servants? You have overstepped your bounds.
I will look into this. Whatever's happening, I'm sure it can all be figured out.
Thank you for bringing this to my attention, gentlemen. I'll see to this personally.
Thank you, Inquisitor. Orle stands ready to assist the Inquisition, as always.
Secrets and lies. Do you understand why we fear your Inquisition? You act as if you're the solution to every problem. How long before you drag us into another war?
What was the first one?
What's going on here?
Your legions tried to take one of our people, Inquisitor. We've secured the area.
This is the Winter Palace. You cannot simply seize control when one of your guards attacks a servant.
The Inquisition is handling this. When some noble commits a crime of fashion, you can take over.
I only asked what he was doing.
And when I refused to bow to the Inquisition's dogs, you attacked me. How would you like us to handle the situation, Inquisitor?
How did that barrel get here?
That barrel there. Where did it come from?
I was ordered to bring wine for the guests.
You're lying.
Your Inquisition soldiers are completely out of control.
No, we're in control. Keep talking and you'll find yourself in chains.
Oh. Let's take the guard. God no. It's very unclear which guard, and I can't remember what exactly happens. If I arrest the Elysian servant, I may look like a tyrant. I may look tyrannical. Let's take the guard into custody.
I apologize for my guard's actions. My people will take her into custody, with your permission.
As you say, Inquisitor, Lord Cyril will hear about this.
Inquisitor, I also found this by the barrel. I can't read the language.
Very inconspicuous, Leliana.
Did you resolve the problem with the guard?
The guard is the least of our problems. Someone smuggled Gatlock barrels into the Winter Palace.
Smile, Inquisitor. There are many eyes upon us. At least now we know the true extent of the dragon's breath.
Explain.
You think the dragon's breath is these Gatlock barrels?
Of course, a surprise attack, even through the Illuvians, would have met fierce resistance. But if everyone at the Exalted Council died in an explosion, the South would be rudderless, vulnerable to attack. This is what Corypheus should have done after the explosion at the Temple of Sacred Ashes. An attack as swift and unstoppable as the breath of a dragon.
You're taking this rather well.
How are you still smiling?
Years of training as a bard, Inquisitor. We cannot show weakness now. Enemies could be watching, or we can let them seize idle conversation between two friends.
Okay, we also found this note.
The guard who confronted the servant said she found this note near one of the barrels. It looks like Qunari writing.
Let me see. I picked some up from the Iron Bull, though I'm told my accent is atrocious. These are orders for positioning the Gatlock in the palace. When duty has been performed, report to the Vidisala through the mirror marked by a bookcase.
An invitation. A location. We have a target.
Mirror marked by a bookcase. I'm on my way.
Good. While you do that, I will have agents locate the Gatlock barrels and remove them safely. I will also send word to my foreign contacts. We must see where else this dragon could strike.
Look for the Vidisala through an Illuvian near a bookshelf. Does the Iron Ball have anything else for us?
I've sent word to the Bin Hasrath. We've got to stop this dragon's breath before it goes any further. It can't have been authorized. My people wouldn't do this.
Tell me about these Qunari, Bull.
What can you tell me about the Qunari we're dealing with?
These aren't Bin Hasrath. They're specialists working for a Vidisala. Bin Hasrath handle normal security. The Vidisala's people focus entirely on magic. They find it, they study it, they neutralize it. And they must be desperate if they're using Illuvians. I'd expect them to shatter any mirror they find.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss.
But the Iron Ball is fairly convinced whatever is happening must be some kind of mistake or rogue sect of the Untarm. I'm not convinced. He's convinced, but he's not convincing me. once more into the grey. They're setting up a new path. I can't see anyone moving to it. It is probably something I should point out. If you come here as an elf, any elf, warrior, mage, rogue, the crossroads here will look very different. They will look more alive. These trees will have life to them. The magic will still be present to them. Okay, so someone pressed that one, but we need to press this one over here. And where does this one lead? This note is written in an unknown language, but the portly figure at the bottom with a ring of keys and an unflattering scowl is likely to be a jailer who once walked these flagstones. He's been drawn cross-eyed with wiggling lines radiating from his backside. Broken alluvions, art on the floor, skeletons. That might be an elven god we've not seen. Oh, very small room. Terrors and undead. Okie, so here we have the skin that stalks. This is the armor. And here we have 3 schematics, each one for heavy, light and medium. Which means notes on methods of enchantment. Notes on the 4th attempt that the weave goes smoothly, bound tightly between many items. The stress on the energy produces finer results than a singular enchantment. Upon the last of the stock was well worth it, as I explained to it as a courtesy before final work began. Adjustments to the underlay were a great success, and will allow the recipe to be made with a material taken from lesser animals if the need arises. Below the letters, possibly in lieu of a signature, is a stamp of a stylized Halla head. Taken together, the diagrams and ratios carefully inked at the bottom of the last of these notes could be turned into a schematic that replicates the creation of these artifacts. I'll quickly show you what the armor itself actually looked like. It will give my character a very odd, yeah. It's very, very lovely armor, but very much meant for the feminine persuasion. It's not universal. My character can wear it, but really shouldn't. It looks like cross-dressing. Nothing against it, but no. Not in public. I can't remember if I can get to that alluvion over there. I really, really would love to. I'm wondering. This is a free march. This is a free marcher's symbol. This is the crow. Surely that's not elven in origin. Maybe the crossroads reflect those around it, much like the Fade. Books in the Crossroads. A book from the crossroad. Its pages are filled with numbers and letters, splattered around the page in a random order, like writing in a dream. Every other book on its shelf is filled with the same nonsense script. In certain lights, the letters appear to shift slightly out of the corner of the eye.
An alluvion marked by a bookshelf. This should be it.
Good. Time to get some answers from the Vidasala.
Communal journal. The slim journal was tucked into a bookshelf in the crossroads as if left for someone to find. Each entry is different. I've dropped rocks off a dozen ledges. I've not heard one hit bottom. This place has no bottom. Do not be here if you have no tasks. An entry in Kunlat follows. Emmet missed the rendezvous. He said he was scouting the lower ledges on orders. Another entry in Kunlat follows. Understood. No one's to go near that mirror. Chances are... the alluvion we came through initially, the one that we enter for the crossroads, must be the one Emmet went through when he died. Map of the crossroads. This unsigned note was tucked into a bookshelf, as if left for someone to find. Do not stray from the marked paths. There are many mirrors, some lead to danger. Do not linger longer than you must. At the bottom is a crude map of the floating islands, some of which seem impossible to reach. This place is fairly magnificent.
Is this some sort of old elven library?
It definitely saw a massive magical backlash some time ago.
Let's hope we can track down the Vidasala in all this.
Oh, I'm sure we will. What you want to do quickly, once entering this library, which you can clearly see has some inceptive crap going on, is heading around the back here. Here you will find a book. A Ben Hasraf who's clearly had a bad day, and a modify weapons station, although fairly rudimentary, and a superb corrupting rune, and a superb frost rune. The very private diary of Sandal Fedek. Do not read. Enchantment, enchantment. Enchantment, enchantment. Several ideas of the writing enchantment. Sandal clearly had an idea of date and time, enough to keep a journal of days, but every single entry is written enchantment. We have a superb frost rune. I think Sandal knew the weaknesses to the Kunari. Well, that's not what I think. But these runes are clearly left here for a reason. Corrupting. Maybe the Kunari are simply weak to frost attack. There's a spirit ahead of us.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
What are you?
I
I am study. I am a learning thirst. Come, know what has not been lost. New words, new stories. The Kunari would not approach, but we learned their words as well. If you wish to exchange knowledge, they congregate by the lower gate.
What is this place?
What did the old elves use this place for?
This is the Virtithara, the living knowledge of the Empire. The libraries of every city, the wisdom of every court. A connecting place whose paths are in disarray.
Why are the paths in disarray?
What put this place into disarray?
The Virtithara was made with world and fade. When they sundered, so did we. Paths broke, knowledge fragmented, many were trapped. I preserved their last words.
What last words?
What were these old elves' last words?
What happened? Where are the paths? Where are the paths? God save me, the floor is gone. Do not let me fall. Do not let me. On this spot, that is all.
Thanks. Really paints a picture.
Let's go.
We'll be going now.
Know this. An unknown person, not of the Kunari, recently woke the librarians.
An unknown person? Could this be our agent of Fen'Harel?
The librarians facilitated learning before the fracture, before the fall. Now, beware them. They are unwell.
So when you think to speak to the archivist, and it tells you of the last words, you'd think these last words were... She says it like a meaning, but it turns out she literally captured their last words before they died.
Looks like a camp up there. Down there. Shit, this place is weird.
That repairs some of the steps. Let's look around for more. The inverted alluvion must lead to the Kunari.
So this is a bit of a maze. A fairly linear maze, but a maze nevertheless. Pretty much every single way we go through and then we have to come back around and such.
Did you notice? Your anchor is flaring up near magic. Elven magic.
It doesn't hurt when I cast spells. What's causing this?
I'm not sure. Tell us if it gets worse.
Virtithara, a flowering imago. The page of this book, Memory, describe an immensely tall, immensely graceful vine that flowers with the heat of a copper sunset, and has blossoms as large as ponds, petals as long as a man, and scents puffing out like citron and sky and carrion death. The day the last of the vine's folds, spent and extinct, the creator of this memory weeps, and after recording flowers' sights and sounds, enters Virtithara. Treasure this thought, for it was the last of its kind, so much more the last of me. We're okay for potions. We won't take from this cache just yet. Oh, there are 2 caches here. That tells a story. Let's enter through this alluvion first.
These Kunari are dead, but there's not a mark on them.
Backs hunched, eyes wide open. They were scared shitless when they died.
Here we have another archivist.
Welcome, welcome. Listen to the last words of those who lived past the fall. How could the dread wolf cast a veil between the world that wakes and the world that dreams? The Evenures will send people. They will save us. When have you last heard from the gods? When the veil came down, they went silent. What is this veil? What has Fen'Harel done?
Are these records saying Fen'Harel created the veil between our world and the Fade?
They're saying some guy just made the veil? We must have been ass deep in demons before then.
If it's true, that means the Fade and the waking world were once one and the same.
Just what was Fen'Harel thinking when he did this?
Crap, magic mirror crap, evil demon crap. When this is over, I'm gonna need somebody to hit me with a stick again.
I'm not sure whether I want that to be a metaphor or not.
Whatever works for you, Tiny.
Next time we get the gang back together, let's do a dragon instead. Dragons are fun.
These loose pages are scattered about as if abandoned in a great hurry. Algebraic looking formulae crawl across the pages, spiked with dense annotations in Kunlat.
This looks like technical notes. What did the Qunari come here to learn?
They're real technical. I can't make out any either. Something about magic. That's it.
I recognize some formulas. The Qunari are trying to prove theoretical magic of some kind.
These blocks are heading toward that upside-down illuvium.
Creepy. Helpful, but creepy.
It's a place of learning. Maybe this Vir de Thara is helping us find what we need.
Now it's even weirder.
This is true. I completely agree with the Iron Ball. This is creepy as... Hello. That's something I never spotted before. Is this a depiction of Fen'Harel? I mean, sure, every sentinel that we saw in the Arbor Wilds, they all looked like Solus, didn't they? Same can be said here. Same for that one. The sentinels all kind of look the same. Now I'm lost. What way did I come? I was down this way, wasn't it? Ow. So we just have one more walkway to raise, I believe. Qunari. Big guy. See, that rogue just nearly decimated me. Dorian's down. Whoa, I'm down. Not quite. There's no use to this. I need to get Dorian up. Where's Varric? Keep him panicked. Well, that was a close call. I needed to pick the guys up because he had a lot of health. Had to risk it. Discharging the anchor now deals damage to nearby enemies.
Not getting better, boss.
The pain stopped.
It keeps coming back.
Okay, I've replenished our supplies. Now we're going to head into this alluvion here. This should give us the last pathway we need. And then we will find the Vida Stala. Fade-touched honeycomb. Why would I need that?
More dead Canari, with terrified expressions.
And the Archivist?
Welcome, and listen to the last words of those who walked this place. If we get out of here, I will end Fen Haral. After he held back the sky to imprison the gods, the dread wolf disappeared. Lies. We must tear down the veil, the cities, the pathways. Without magic, they're crumbling. You're wasting your time. Fen Haral's veil has turned our empire to ruins.
So the ancient Elven Empire collapsed because the veil weakened magic?
If the old elves relied on magic even more than the Vince, no wonder things went to crap when they dried up.
Do you realize what this means? What this place is? The actual history of the elves could change everything. Look at this place. Now that we have so many samples, how hard would it be to build alluvions of our own?
Oh, I knew this one apostate in Kirkwall you would have gotten along with like a house on fire.
After these past few years, it would just be good to create something magical that is also helpful for a change.
Well, hello. If I can find a way to activate you, be sure I'll be back.
You think we could take a couple of these books back with us?
Unfortunately, I don't believe any of these are physical objects. They're ideas. You just see them as books.
How about we just leave all the creepy feed shit where we found it?
I've never read an elven novel. I wonder what kind of stories they told.
You can see some Kunari out there, just kind of abandoned on islands in the middle of nowhere.
That should be enough stairs. So let's see if we can reach the inverted alluvion now.
Let me see if there's a veil fire down here at least. Then how would one activate that rune? Curious. I'm not sure. Oh, hello. Are we done? I think we're done. Oh boy. 4? Oh no, librarians. They look like fear demons, but I'm sure that's just resource. The same resources, maybe? I don't know, they seem to create fears. Who's down? It's Dorian, damn it. Get up, Dorian. I wish I could know what they were speaking. Sounds very official. Two down, or 3 down, if there was just one more to go. Odd that these fears drop spider fangs. Time to find the Vidasala. Find out what on earth he or she is up to. Do note, we've seen this hand before in the Exalted Plains, or something like it.
Survivor of the breach, herald of change, hero of the South.
The Vidasala, I presume.
After fulfilling your purpose at the breach, it is astonishing to hear you still walked free among your people. Your duty is done, Inquisitor. It is time to end your magic.
You're not up to killing me?
I've defeated all your Ben Hasrath so far.
So you have. The repercussions have already begun. I am no stranger to catastrophe, but this chaos in the South defies comprehension. The Qun left your people to curb your own magic. You've amply proven we should have stepped in long ago.
So you try mass assassination?
Is that what Dragon's Breath is for? Murdering our heads of state just to control our magic?
Do you believe closing the breach solved everything? That its consequences stopped there? The day we saw the breach, the Qun decided its action. We would remove your leaders and spare those who toil. This agent of Fen'Harel has disrupted everything. Lives that were to be spared, lost for him.
Who is this agent? Why would you think they work for the Inquisition?
Kill the Inquisitor, then follow me to the Darvarad.
Well, this is civil. Blimey. Dorian. I need to pick Dorian up. Now come on, Varric. We have a Cerebus here as well. Whoa! Hello, Mr. Epic. Cerebus down. Discover where the Vidasala went. Please excuse my kunlat. Its subtleties elude me, even with your patient teaching. We pulled everyone out of the palace. The Shem nobles assumed we were servants, leaving on an errand. We are hiding where you told us, waiting for signs that Dragon's Breath has begun. Victory is in the Qun.
No wonder the Qunari translated notes into our language. It was for their non-Qunari spies.
They'd have to. Kunlat's not an easy one to learn.
The Deravad Keystone. The Risk of Cerebus. This sheaf of notes is written mostly in Kunlat, but select paragraphs have been translated into the common tongue. Those born outside the Qun will not comprehend the seriousness of using mages to help us. They believe the worst that can befall a mage is a demon possession. They do not truly understand that the loss of mastery comes with a loss of self. Those of the Qun since birth do not understand why we risk using Cerebus. We have immersed them in the sea of magic until it seems impossible they could ever do anything but drown. It is right that we enlighten you so your purpose here is clear. We have learned from this place that there lived an elven mage who saw a great wrong and sacrificed all to right it. This mage made the veil, which protects us from the Fade. This veil stripped power from his rulers, who had treated their people with such excess that it makes the southern kings and queens seem staid. Thus does every action carry rightness, and all paths converge. In his greatest magic, the elven mage became an agent of peace through the veil. In our willingness to brave this place, we may discover how the veil can be strengthened through our own mages. For that, we risk our lives. The Cerebus who have joined in an endeavour understand the dangers and have made their choice. Remember the words of Ashkari Kostlan. Existence is a choice. There is no chaos in the world, only complexity. Knowledge of the complex is wisdom. From wisdom of the world comes wisdom of the self. Mastery of the self is mastery of the world. Loss of self is the source of suffering. Suffering is a choice, and we can refuse it. It is our own power to create the world or destroy it. For peace, we will endure any horror. Here we will create a safer world, or destroy the old one.
These are Vidasala's papers. She brought mages here to research strengthening the veil.
A way to clamp down magic. No wonder she's here.
It explains why the Qunari thought it was worth camping here.
It sounds awfully like Yoda. Just saying. Anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering. Oh dear.
Visitors, patrons, welcome. The halls are open.
Where did the Vidasala go?
Can you tell me where a Qunari called the Vidasala went?
Yes, we heard much, although she fooled herself into thinking we could not hear. Take a keystone to the Davarad. I will join you there soon and take stock of our remaining Gatlock powder.
I have a keystone.
I found a keystone with one of the Qunari.
Yes, and you need words for their key. Maras Nira. It glows. It will open the way to the Davarad. May you find what you seek. In coming here, you strengthen the bonds. I can now raise one, if you wish to go.
Thank you.
Gil-Dethan was what the Elven called me. One who guides seekers of knowledge true. I was connection. One city could read the records of another, one Elven feel the memories of another. When the veil fell upon us, I marked the end of all they knew.
We've got to find this Darvarad and corner Vidisala there.
Not gonna happen. Back to the Winter Palace and warn the others. This place is such a maze. Is that water flowing up?
Your agents confirm there are Gatlock battles in Denerim's palace?
Yes, and in Val Royeaux and across the Free Marches. The Winter Palace is not the only target.
The Qunari are one order from destroying every noble house in the known world.
There is a bright side. Warning the ambassadors will remind them of the Inquisition's value.
Not when the Inquisition is responsible for that threat.
We're the leak.
They came in through us?
Yes.
How, damn it?
The elven servant handling the barrels has disappeared. Notes in his quarters suggest he was a Qunari spy.
But the servant was Orlesian. That implicates Orlais, not us.
But the barrels arrived at the Winter Palace on the Inquisition supply manifest.
How are we supposed to fight a war when we can't even trust our own people?
Who is our leak?
Do you know who got the barrels onto the Inquisition manifest?
Yes, several of the Inquisition's elven workers have gone missing. I had their backgrounds checked. They joined the Inquisition after fleeing the chaos in Kirkwall.
I remember when Kirkwall was at its worst. Many of the city's elves converted to the Qun, trying to find a better life.
And the Qunari turned them into spies.
And we're part of the problem. Not too different to what happened with Ameridan, no? His own Inquisition became part of a problem.
A few years ago, we railed at the mages at Redcliffe for becoming corrupt. We did the same to the Grey Wardens. Look at us now.
I fought to protect the Inquisition in this exalted council. And for what? So we could deceive and threaten those we claimed to protect?
Once we locate the spies...
This isn't about the spies. You hid the Qunari body. You all but seized control of the Winter Palace.
We did what was right, not what was politically convenient.
Do you know what this has cost us with Orlais and Ferelden? They are planning to dismantle us as we speak. And perhaps they are right.
The Marcus... I thought it was fine. It's been under control for years. All the demons I fought, all the rifts I closed. I don't want to die. Not knowing that the world still needed me. So I'm going to the Darvarad.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Would you Would you like us to inform the Exalted Council of the danger?
Inform them. You've kept enough from them.
Yes. If we fail, the Exalted Council needs to know what happened.
I will inform them personally.
Leliana, I can...
No, your job is hard enough already. This is my responsibility.
I'll have guards ready at the Illuvian, in case the Qunari attack the palace.
Make a watch over you.
There we go, guys. That's the end of that Dragon Age Inquisition, and we have uncovered much. The Qunari threat is headed by the Vidasala, the head of the Antam. Whether this is a full military invasion or just a rogue sect is still a little bit unclear. Ironballs believe that this is not the Qunari whole, but yet more extremists taking extremities into their own hands. The Agent of Fen'Harel is still a mystery to us, though I have my suspicions. Well, of course I do. We know who it is. We've yet to see him, but we know who it is. The Vidasala is trying to strengthen the Veil. After what just happened, that would seem like a worthy goal. But she's going about it all very not great. Gatlock barrels in Denerim, Orlais, Freemarch, and the Winter Palace itself, trying to assassinate all heads of state and noble houses, preparing for an invasion of southern Thedas. All because the Qun is perhaps the better option in their heads. Ironball said that the battle to get us there would be bloody and many good people would die. He didn't want it to happen. He doesn't want it to happen, but it might. If we don't stop her and find this Agent of Fen'Harel. So thank you guys. I will catch you on the next one, where we will find this Agent of Fen'Harel and end the story of Dragon Age Inquisition entirely. With just one more video, guys. See you on the next one.